Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be going over my battles that I did for the battles during our dual stream. I ran a lot of really successful and fun teams, but before we get into the battles, I just want to make a quick announcement. I am sponsored by G Fuel now. For a very limited time only, you can get 30% off using the promo code KING. It's an energy formula company. I've been using G Fuel for the past 2 months. I really enjoyed it. I've replaced my coffee usage with G Fuel. Tastes great. Gives me a lot of really great energy to be able to battle and to edit all these videos and do all that I need to do during the day. So this is for a very limited time only, up until May 11th. After that, it'll be 10% off using the promo code KING. All the links and details will be in the description. So thank you very much, and let's go ahead and get started with the battles. So my battles are going to be on the left-hand side. The first team I use is Shadow Machamp, G-Fist, and Gengar. So obviously Kingdra switching, not really a clear answer on what I should switch into. Obviously Stunfisk has an okay answer to it. And my whole team's kind of okay against it. So no debuff on the first one here. So a Rock Slide wouldn't KO from there, so I end up throwing the Earthquake, hoping that they wouldn't shield. They actually do end up shielding, which is really unfortunate for me. The Rock Slide will definitely KO now. So I get debuffed here, so I'm gonna build up as much as energy as I possibly can, and then I'm gonna throw the Rock Slide. The Rock Slide typically does like 25-ish%, so I switch out so I can bank that energy. I am up a shield versus this Abomasnow. So I feel pretty okay here. So I throw the Sludge Bomb. I feel like I can just go straight Sludge Bomb here. I should be able to beat the Abomasnow by one turn. And I get the extra Shadow Claw through. So I definitely will make it. Because it's 12 seconds for me to get to 2 Sludge Bombs. And it takes like 13 seconds for them to get to... Is it 13? No, it's 14 to get to 3. So I'm definitely going to be able to beat them. And then I throw the Sludge Bomb here. And then I wait for the Incinerate to come through. And then I switch and Rock Slide them. So I had a really good first game 1. And then go Machamp into Gengar. Really not good for me. So I am going to mirror here. It's kind of awkward to switch into the mirror. So what I do here? I think I bait. And then they shield the bait. I should have enough health to get to the Sludge Bomb. So I'll either take the second shield, which is really favorable for me, or take the shield or take out the Dragonite. And I take out the Dragonite, does so much damage. I am going to go into G-Fist here. Rock Slide won't KO. Not quite, but it will do quite a bit of damage here. A shield here. They Shadow Punching me here, which is really not good for me. This is a really poor shield decision on my side. And they come into Escavalier. And that's actually kind of okay here. And actually, the person who requested this team actually wanted me to run regular Machamp, and actually regular Machamp was actually really clutch for me here, because the Shadow one definitely would have had a much harder time being down a shield versus the Escavalier. And then I am going to land this next Cross Chop, which will almost KO the Escavalier, and then we simul KO, and then the Gengar is like extremely low at that point in time. Okay, so not the best matchup for me. So I go to G-Fist, which is G-Fist versus Venusaur is a really uncomfortable matchup. So I bait here, which I'm always uncomfortable doing. And they come into they actually come into Excadrill here. So I bait because I'm like, oh, for sure they shield their Excadrill. There's no way they don't. And then I let this go hoping that I can make it to the Earthquake. So I definitely will live the drill run, but it'll put me really low. And they actually end up throwing the move here, which is really, really, really good for me. And then I go into Machamp. And then basically I am going to let this go, and I should be able to counter down before they get to another one. The Frenzy Plants do a lot more damage than the Drill Run. So I throw the Rock Slide here, and I know their Venusaur is absolutely loaded here, so I'm actually not going to shield this move here. So that works out perfectly fine. I'm going to 2-shield Gengar. And then here comes Talonflame here. And I should be able to comfortably get to 2 Sludge Bombs versus this Talonflame. They actually end up no-shielding there, which works out perfectly for me. Works out fantastic for me, because then I don't have to take that much damage. And then I just need to get to 2 Shadow Punches here. And then there's the first Shadow Punch, and then they CMP tie me. And I'm going to obviously win the CMP tie on the second one. So it worked out perfectly fine for me to be able to win that game. All right. Oh, I aired 6 on that one. I didn't realize that. Oh, okay. Well, I should have cut out that. Okay, there you go. I found another match right away. And then Machamp into another Machamp. So not the best for me, because I have a really high rank Machamp. So very high likelihood that I lose CMP. And I cross shop here. They let me get to another one, which is very good for me. At this point in time, I'm just not going to shield my Machamp. And if they don't throw their second one, then I will just counter them down. But at this point in time, I have looking pretty good. Up a shield. I'm going to be able to farm down with Gengar, which is really good for me. They come into Swampert, which is not good for me. And I build up to what would be the Shadow Ball. If I had Shadow Ball here, I would just go straight Shadow Ball, because I definitely would be able to outpace. And I get an extra Shadow Claw through. And I throw 2 more here. And then, oh my gosh, I throw 2 more to CMP tie, to kind of hoping that they would shield. They come into Charizard, which is pretty bad for me. Which is, they no shield that, which is kind of crazy for me. So I catch the Claw. There's no way they Blast Burn here. And then I should be able to Mud Shot down. Or obviously be able to take out this Charizard here, because it has like 1 HP left. And then I should be able to Mud Shot down the Swampert. Even though Swampert is really bad for my back line with the right energy management and timing with Gengar, turned out pretty well for me. Okay. All right, going to this next game here. Really bad for me. Normally I would throw a counter then switch, but I really don't want to take the confusion onto Gengar that well. So really not great for me. I throw the Shadow Punch here. They end up shielding. So, but I do want a little bit of damage, or potentially try to win switch. Okay, and I want to get that extra Shadow Claw through. And I get a few more Shadow Punches through here. I think I end up CMP tying here. Can't remember. Yes, I did. Not the most ideal scenario for me, but still okay. they switch out into... I'm not entirely sure why they made that move there, to be honest. I would love a close combat. They throw the Leaf Blade here for some reason. I throw in the middle here, hoping that this would KO, which actually does not. And they're actually able to get to one more Leaf Blade. I'm actually pretty confused at what they were doing here. And then here comes Swampert. And then Swampert's going to be able to beat me to the move, so nicely done on their side. Then I'm able to counter down. And then here it'll just come down to... an Octazooka probably would have KO'd me. So they're at 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm able to beat the move. I probably could have cross-chopped there. Actually, let me check if the cross-chop would KO. I wasn't sure the cross-chop would KO, but looking at it now, it probably actually would have KO'd. Machamp versus Kingdra. So the cross-chop does 27%. Yeah, it definitely would have KO'd. I definitely didn't need the Rock Slide to be able to win the game there. Okay, so we're on to this next team, which is Shadow Hitmonchan, Empoleon, and Obama Snow. So not necessarily the best team here. Not my best team suggestion that I've gotten. So they come into Swampert here. And they're not even bother pretending they have Sludge Wave. They're just going to throw straight Hydro Cannon, which I easily resist as Obama Snow. I'm actually going to take the next one. And then they need 5 more Mud Shots to make it to the next one. So I'm going to do... I think I do 3. Yeah, I do 3, just in case my count is off by 1. I don't want to take another Hydro Cannon here. Okay, and they come into Obama Snow. And then I'm just looking. They're basically they're gonna double up on their Obama Snow, so they can throw a Weather Ball at my Hitmonchan. But at this point in time, I assume that they have another counter for me. So I end up catching the Weather Ball onto Empoleon here. They actually have a Galvantula, which is at this point in time, I'm like, okay, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Call the lunge. I just have to call the lunge, and then I throw at the last second here the Hydro Cannon, and they're just gonna straight lunge me here. So not the best situation for me. So I am just gonna look to counter down. They're gonna lunge me again, right? And I really debate here whether I should just no shield this lunge. But they come into Obama Snow. I'm able to still counter down. And then I have 2 Thunder Punches there, but I really didn't want to give away any Volt Switches. So I decided just to counter them down beforehand. So that worked out perfectly fine for me. It's obviously a very favorable lead for me. Favorable counter switch, so another Obama Snow lead. This time they come into Talonflame. I'm a little bit slow on the switch, so I'm not able to get the 5th Waterfall through, which means that I will have to shield the next one, which is fine. Or I could have thrown, but I'd rather just... it's kind of an uncomfortable situation here. So I throw the Drill Peck. And then I think I throw 2 more Waterfalls here to try not to give them any free fast moves. And then I land the second one here, which they end up shielding. And then I come into Hitmonchan. I really debate going into Obama Snow. I decided not to shield my Hitmonchan because I assume that they have another Pokemon in the back, which ended up being Swampert. Ends up being pretty favorable for me. I think I no shield this. And then they throw another Hydro Cannon at me. And then I think I do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And that's just in case my counting's off by 1. I throw the energy ball. I'm not sure if they shield or not. They don't. And I'm going to throw the weather ball here, and this is looking pretty good for me right now. Obviously, very favorable lead and favorable counter swaps for me. Be able to powder snow down, but that's going to be GG there. Do run into some tough matchups with this team. I think this one is this one was a tough one for me because I basically hoping to catch the discharge here. I'm like, please discharge. And they end up lunging me, which is really terrible for me. So I throw the weather ball here. And that does not very much to an Umbreon, especially when I'm debuffed. And because my Abomasnow is a little bit low, so I'm hoping to CMP tie to this energy ball. But it looks like they're just going to farm me down, which is not great for me. So I come into Empoleon here, hoping that they would throw the Last Resort. Which they do. And at this point in time, I'm just going to build up a lot of energy and catch the next move. So I know they have Dark Pulse. So I do 2, 3, 4. I catch the next move here onto Hitmonchan. And actually, it's the worst I ever actually end up having Hypno here. I throw the Thunder Punch, which is this is absolutely disastrous for me. They shield the Thunder Punch. I'm able to get another one off, but these Thunder Punches don't do that much to Hypno. And I throw a move there. They got a Confusion through, which really sucked for me because I tried to Waterfall down, but because they got that extra Confusion in, I ended up getting extra Waterfall, so maybe it evened out. They get to 2 moves here, and this is like, there's just no way for me to win here. They come into Galvantula. They try to catch a move on me, but there's only one person that catches moves in this matchup here. But I tried my best. I honestly did, but this Galvantula is going to be too much for my team. It puts it low, but not quite low enough. That's going to be a GG. Well played by my opponent. And then Hitmonchan into Gallade. Obviously not very good for me. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of have to shield here. It ended up being not good for me. And then they come G-Fist. I'm going to let this go. So they throw right away. So I'm going to throw after 2. So what do I do here? Do I throw 3 more? Do I try CMP tie here? No, I don't. Okay, I just throw the move here. Maybe I wasn't confident in my counts. So they need 2 more to make it to the rock slide. So they're just 1 over. And then it means they need 7 more to make it to the move. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6, so I no shield this. It ends up being a rock slide. What do I do here? I throw the Thunder Punch here. Because I know I already threw a move at the Gallade beforehand. So it was already pretty low. They come into Galvantula. And I'm in kind of a lot of trouble here. I get the extra waterfall through. And I debate what I should do here. They discharge me. Really not good for me. I get discharged. But there's not really too much I could do. Maybe I could have shielded that But I think their Gallade had a move. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Maybe if I shielded the discharge and then tried to counter down, but I think it would have been more than 6 counters to counter down the Gavantia. Maybe it wasn't, so it was kind of a really rough situation there. Okay, so Ampharos. Get extra counter through. I have to shield this. I throw the move here. I think they actually switched on me somehow. They switched to Venusaur somehow. I'm not entirely sure how they did. Yeah, it was a nice play by them. Nice play by them. So I shield this. Sweet Sludge Bomb for sure. And I'm going to throw the Weather Ball here. And they actually end up living this Sludge Bomb, which actually ends up being slightly worse for me. Well, maybe actually end up being better for me. They have Gallade here, so I throw one counter, then switch. And they switch out into Ampharos here. Oh man, they're able to make it to a move here, which is really bad for me. They Thunder Punch me here. And I debate on what to do here. They end up throwing here instead of farming down, which is actually really good for me because they need like one more for the Leaf Blade, but I'm only one away from close combat. Close combat definitely does more than the Thunder Punch. It's base 100 plus stab, way more than a base 55 move with no stab, even though it's resisted. And then this next team here, I actually really like this team a lot. And then I honestly don't have an answer for Venusaur on this team besides my own Venusaur, which maybe I should have went to. They end up no shielding here, which is really bad for me because, yeah, just really bad for me. So a Frenzy Plan here. I think I ended up shielding this one here because I have to. And then one. So they have one here. 2, 3, 4, 5. I try to catch the Frenzy here, but my opponent is just too well aware of what was happening. They come into Gavantula. I throw the Sludge Bomb here before they can get to the lunge, figuring that they're not going to shield their... I think I actually ended up living this. Yeah, I do, and I'm able to make it to the Frenzy Plant, which will KO the Gavantula, which they definitely won't shield because I have a G-Fist, right? And I think they come back into... Oh, they come back... They have Empoleon here. So this is actually really good for me here. Kingdra has a fantastic matchup versus Empoleon. As you can see here, the massive difference in fast moves. So I double resist the fast move from Empoleon. And they only single resist mine. And then the Dropek is an only okay move versus Outrage is a very good move. And I throw the Earthquake here because I'm going to be able to way outpace this, way outpace it. And then what do they do here? I throw this Rock Slide here just to make sure that the Outrage will KO. And I'm in a really good spot here. These waterfalls don't do very much, and they decide to concede at that point in time. So obviously the Venusaur switching was really tricky for this team. I could have went to Kingdra, but even then that's kind of tricky. So what do I do here? Come into Jellicent here. I no shield this. I know that there's a Ninetales in the back. There's 100% Ninetales in the back. I decided to throw the Earthquake anyways. So they throw a Bubble Beam at me. They actually end up shielding this, which actually works out really well for me. And they were very slow in the switch. So I got a 3 Vine Whip advantage. So I'm just going to throw this Sludge Bomb here, which doesn't KO. And then I know because I got such a big energy advantage farming off of a Bubble Jellicent, I'm actually just going to no-shield this. They're going to try to Powder Snow me down. They have the move like one turn beforehand, before I make it to the Sludge Bomb, but they obviously just want to farm me down. And then that ended up costing them a lot of HP. And then I come into here. I'm just going to take both of these Weather Balls. Yep, and then I have a Rock Slide Magged. And then I'm just going to go straight into Kingdra. Just get an energy advantage versus this thing, and then get a pretty good farm, even though they're really low HP. And then they come into G-Fisk here. And I am going to Octazooka them. Hoping for the debuff. No debuff. Outrage would do more damage. And then I think I shield this. Yeah. And then they throw a Rock Slide here. I guess they want to throw before they potentially get debuffed. But it was a very obvious Rock Slide. And I throw an Octazooka here. Maybe I should have thrown an Outrage. Oh, I get the debuff here, so I'm not going to shield. Obviously, they have a Bubble Jellicent still. And then I think I shield this. They Bubble Beam me, which is okay. And then I'm just going to build up, save the Outrage. Switch out. And then they have to throw at me, or else I'll be able to make it to the Rock Slide. And then I'm just going to Outrage, and then their G-Fist is really low, has no energy. And I'm able to take out their G-Fist at the end. Okay, we go into this next match here. Really not good lead here, so I say switch to Kingdra. I no-shield this here. Yeah, I no-shield this. I kind of make a dumb play here. I just should have thrown the Octazooka here. I throw the Outrage. Maybe I could have no-shielded this. I don't know. It would have been really close. I probably would have lived that, to be honest. So I should have just no-shielded. And then I figured they weren't going to shield at that point in time. They come into Charizard. And then this is this is really bad for me. Like, I almost have no chance here. I basically have to pray for the debuff here. All right, so they're at one Fire Spin. If I don't get the debuff here, then I'm not gonna be able to win the game. And I think I went too early there, and they have a Swampert here, so that's really not good for me. And then they Earthquake me. This is like super bad for me. Like, I can't emphasize how bad this is for me. I made a huge mistake. I should have just Octazooka the Machamp, and I definitely would have lived the move. They Earthquake me, but it really doesn't matter. I definitely would have lived the move. So misplay on my side. I catch the Dragon Claw, but really doesn't matter. And I just get the Sludge Bomb to burn the last shield, but really didn't matter. I should just Octazooka them, to be honest. Yeah, I really should just Octazooka them. They might not have shielded though, so especially since they weren't Shadow. And they go G-Fist into Kanto Muck, and they're staying here, which is really strange here. As you can see, the fast moves are doing absolutely no damage. They try to CMP Tide me here, but I'm just going to build up extra. They Thunder Punch me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they had Sludge Wave. I'm not really sure. And then I say switch here, and they come into Gavantula, and then I'm gonna no shield this, and this is definitely GG's here. Unfortunately for them, G-Fizz is just too strong for their entire team, and then they get debuffed on top of that. That's just so bad for them. And then I just throw the Octo. This game's over, right? Like, there's not really too much they can do. I'm just taking so much damage. And then I go G-Fizz here. And then I attempt the EQ here. And then I don't know why I did this here. Just for no reason, I guess, really. I catch the Hydro Cannon. I shield here. I definitely could have lived this, but this game is definitely over. And then I'm gonna throw the Frenzy Plane here, and good timing to prevent extra waterfall from coming through. But this game is definitely over. And then I think this is the last game. This is the last game. So we go G-Fizz versus G-Fizz. So this matchup is not as scary as it is in Great League. It's still very nerve-wracking. So I go for the extra mud shot like I do in the Great League matchup. I no shield here. They EQ, which is really bad for me. I throw the rock slide here, hoping for the bait, which I do end up getting the bait. And then they can't rock slide me to KO, which is a little bit different than in the Great League match. And I go for the EQ. And because I got the extra mud shot, they obviously could have EQ'd me here to KO, but they don't want to. So, and because I got the extra mud shot, they got an extra mud shot there, but it was already too late. I'm going to be able to rock slide it and take them out. So I actually win the 1-0 matchup versus another Best Buddy one. So I throw the Frenzy Plane here. And they're just throwing the Octazooka at me, which I'm really confused here. They didn't even bother going up for their rage. And then I'm just going to switch here. And they have a Swampert. So this game is basically over. Kind of a odd team here, not going to lie. With their own Swampert here. They bait me here. Not entirely sure why. And that's going to be a GG. And I'm able to close out that match. So those are some really strong teams, really fun matches. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about those teams. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see everyone in the next video.